Hello once again, this is Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures, and today we're on another Christmas adventure. This is going to be a two-part series, part one being this week, part two being next week. I drove almost 5.5 hours for this adventure to bring you this story, and hope you enjoy. Something I wanted to get off my bucket list, so I'm here. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. More specific than that, I'm over by 14th Street, which is the Christmas Story house right across the street. This is the actual house that they used to film the Christmas Story. And the reason I wanted to come today is because the house is for sale. So I don't know what they're going to do with it after they sell it. So I didn't want to miss my opportunity to film this and come see the house for myself and to share it with you guys. So join me on this adventure. It costs $15 to get in. It includes the museum, which has artifacts from the movie. Of course, you know the movie was made in the 80s. $15, you get your ticket here, which allows you entrance into the house and into the museum. I decided to do the 12:45 because the 12 was pretty busy, so I'm hoping that the next tour won't be as busy. So follow me on this adventure as we go exploring the filming site of A Christmas Story. So we're standing in front of the Christmas Story house. Imagine Ralphie walking down this street from school. He would have came up this way, right here by the hedges, to the mailbox. Now this isn't the original mailbox. The original one's in the museum, I've heard, but it's in the same place, and Ralphie would have opened the mailbox looking for the little orphan Annie decoder, which it isn't in there, but this would have been the street that they filmed that he ran right up. Right here's the house. I wanted to get a few shots of it before we go in on our tour, and there's not a lot of people standing here right now, so I figured I'd show you the front porch. And there's the old man's pride and joy, his award, the leg lamp, there in the window. Now that's not the original one. This is a replica of it, but this is the house. And there's the neighbor's house right there. That's now it's a bed and breakfast, and I believe it's kind of on the expensive side. It's like $200 and some. But right there would be the door. The old man would have been chased by the dogs, and that's the neighbor's house there where the dogs would have came from and stole the Christmas turkey. And some shots of the backyard there, which we'll go back later. Now the way I understand it is most of the outside filming was done here with the house. The backyard was used for the scenes of Black Bart and the scene where Ralphie shot his eye out. So that was all filmed here. Now most of the inside filming was done on a sound stage in California or Ontario, I'm not sure, but a lot of the other scenes, the school scenes and stuff, was done in Ontario, Canada. But there is a few shots that was done from inside the house, and that would have been looking out Ralphie's window up there at the top, which we'll try to get a view of that. But the owner here has gutted the whole inside of the house and has made it look like the house on the Christmas Story, the set, like it was in the movie. So hopefully when it sells, that they'll continue the tradition and do the museum and walk through. So when we go inside, it's going to look just like the movie set, which is really cool. But like I said, the real set was done on a sound stage, except for a few shots shot out Ralphie's window to look out onto the street. So I wanted to show you that before it got too crowded. And then over here across the street, we have the Christmas Story House gift shop and museum, which we will be going through. I think the museum's right here, and then the gift shop's right there. And we'll go look at the fire truck. It's a replica of the fire truck that came up when Frick guy's tongue stuck to the telephone pole on the triple dog there. So I think his name was Frick, that character. So join me on this adventure as we continue with the Christmas story.
You know, I'm not a super fan. Yeah. So I need you guys to have some energy. Nobody who doesn't like the movie thinks I'm funny or entertaining. They don't want to be here.
That's a belay black human.
All right, come on in, folks.
Oh, let's see there.
Come in, hang out. May I have your ticket stubs, please? That's all I need. Here's your tickets. Just a stub, and the song starts up at the perfect moment. All right, I understand. Okay, folks. Thank you very much. I'm glad this is a small group. This is fun. I don't have to project at all. So, to start off with, my name is Brian. Welcome to the A Christmas Story House and Museum. Make sure this is locked. First thing you probably notice is that that door right there is locked. We have many locked doors around here. You guys are welcome to sit down if you want. Spread out, do whatever. I'm just going to tell you a little story first. Now, a lot of locked doors, as I was saying. The reason for that is that we just don't have the staff to post people up at all the buildings, let you wander around all the time like I'm sure you'd want to. Another side effect of that is that you have to tolerate me for a little less than an hour. These are guided tours. What that means is, wherever we're at, I'm going to talk to you for a little bit, give you some history, tell you some stories, and let you wander around, take pictures, whatever. All right? Now, how many people here have actually seen the movie? I'm kind of curious.
Every year.
All right, so I can't do any lying this time. It's horrifying.
I just be there again.
It is that time of year. It is that time of year.
I love this movie. It's a childhood movie.
It is. And you know what? It plays on a 24-hour cycle on a Turner station like every year, so it's hard to miss it nowadays.
Saw it on HBO Max.
They just released a new one on HBO Max. That's technically the fourth. This is focused on the first one.
Red Ryder BB gun.
Let me give you a little history around the first one. So there was a gentleman named Gene Shepard. He grew up in the 30s and 40s, a very urban town in Indiana. He became a short story author. He was a radio personality. He was the narrator of
the old man's bowling ball.
Until he died. Yeah, he was the adult rapper. Okay. So he wrote about
There's the famous grand prize.
All others pay cash. And probably at the gift shop if they're not sold out. And in that short story, there was a story of a childhood friend of his, got his tongue stuck in the phone.
There's the box to the Red Ryder by the desk.
So, in any case, there was a dude named Bob Clark that was listening to the radio, and Gene Shepard was the narrator of that story. He's been the narrator of a ton of stuff. If you go on the internet, you'll hear his voice on a lot of stuff. He was
Radio's playing
and, as I said,
Little Orphan Annie.
So, in any case, he did a radio play based on the story of his childhood friend who got his tongue stuck to the flagpole. And Bob Clark was listening to that story, and he thought that would make a great addition to a Christmas movie. I asked you if you've seen the Christmas movie. Has anybody here seen Porky's?
Yeah.
You're all the right age group to have seen Porky's, I think. All right. You seen Porky's?
I have.
Porky's was lewd. Porky's was like American Pie XXX back when they only released movies in theaters. Like you couldn't, you can't release everything on television. Porky's was one of those you still can't do that. Right? But Porky's made a ton of money in the theaters, and Bob Clark was the director of Porky's. So when he wants to make a movie based on the story he hears on the radio,
There's the old man's
studios are
box,
receptive,
fried
but he's got to
jelly.
promise to make a Porky's too. I like his style. He's recording everything. So he asked for $3.5 million. They give him 2.5. They short him a little bit. He rolls $150,000 of his own money that he made making Porky's into the movie, so they could secure the rights and he can afford to shoot it. They just need a place to shoot it. All right. So what they wanted was a parade scene at Christmas time in front of a department store. That sounds easy, right? Well, it wasn't, because they were trying to shoot in like April. And I know all of you have gone into many stores and seen all the decorations for all the holidays up 3 or 4 months early, sometimes ridiculously early. They usually take them down right away to make room for the next decorations. Well, there was one department store that was willing to give them what they wanted, provided their executives were able to edit the film for profanity. Do any of you remember which department store was in the movie? It was Higbee's. It was the Higbee's building downtown. Excuse me. That building still lives in spirit. It's the Jack Casino nowadays. The building's still around. The interior has changed a great deal. But in any case, they got their city, they got Cleveland, they have a place to shoot their movie. And they needed a neighborhood that was very blatantly blue collar, all right? Because they were trying to convey like a working class environment, working class family. And the steel yard is right over there. There's a bunch of smokestacks. It's hard to miss them. There's nothing more blue collar than smokestacks as a background to your house. So they sent a scouting party to the neighborhood. They got in their car. They started driving towards the smokestacks. And this is before commercial GPS was a thing. I think the military had GPS back then, but they had no commercial GPS. And they were strangers here. What's up, man? Come on in.
All right, thank you.
Here.
All right, that's my
So-
souvenir stub.
What's that?
I said this is my souvenir stub.
Yeah,
awesome.
it's the closest thing to a free souvenir you can get here. So they got lost. They got lost, we think, like right there. And they fell in love with the neighborhood because the same features that make the neighborhood really, really hard to park in at certain times of the day. You guys might have gotten lucky because there aren't many people here. But normally it's chaos out there. It's like Thunderdome trying to park your car, all right? Well, these streets, the difficulty in parking, the same reasons that you have that problem also make it really easy to shoot a movie, because you can cut these streets off really easy. You don't interfere with the main flow of traffic on the main roads. The neighbors aren't that bothered. There's not a lot of traffic from them. Also, this house in particular, I don't know if you noticed, but when you're leaving, look around. It's the only house in the neighborhood with this big old picture window and this big old wraparound front porch. And it's got smokestacks in the background. Beautiful. So they knock on it. Nobody answers. They troll the neighborhood for a little bit. They're looking for the guy that owns this perfect yellow home. They're knocking on doors, asking a question. They either don't answer their door, they don't know, or they know and they tell them to buzz off, mind your own business. You know, that's our neighbor, and this was the early 80s. So they had to be careful. No cell phones in everybody's pocket. So the scouting crew, they get hungry and thirsty, as people are apt to do after their workday. And they go to the Rowley Inn. It was in the same spot then as it is now. They sit down, they order something to eat and drink, they start talking about their day, which people do after their workday at the bar. Guess who was sitting right beside him at the bar?
The owner of the house.
Yeah, he'd been there drinking the whole time they were looking for him. So their pitch was, we'll put you up in a nice hotel downtown, may we use your home for 11 weeks. And that guy didn't want anything to do with it, all right? He didn't want strangers using his home to shoot a movie he probably wasn't gonna see. You know, they might be bothering his neighbors, disturbing his neighborhood, yada, yada. So the negotiations began. And basically what they did was they bought him a drink and they asked him again. And they kept buying him drinks and asking him over and over again. And we don't know how many drinks it took for him to say yes. But they cut him a $20,000 check right before that.
Wow.
Probably had just a bit something to do with it. Okay, again, keep in mind, early 80s, relatively high unemployment, all right? So if you had a job, 20 grand was probably your full year. So he took his $20,000 check, 11 weeks in a very nice hotel, and what was probably a pretty ripping drunken buzz at that point, and he passed these strangers he met in a bar his house keys, as any one of us would do in a second. So they got inside the house and they loved it. Still wasn't perfect for every need they had. If you can think back to the movie, any scene that supposedly takes place in the house, but you can't see outside a window or a door, you can't see the neighborhood, you can't see any nature, that means 100% chance that was shot at a soundstage in Canada. Every single scene where you can see outside was shot right here. They don't know exactly how many in each spot. They think it was like 50-50. In any case, they had their home, all right? So they needed some actresses. Ian Petrilla and Peter Billingsley played Ralphie and Randy, not respectively. I got that in the wrong order. They were cast after a typical auditions, hundreds of kids, weeks and weeks. They were the best of the best. Mom and Dad, and they were never named in any of the movies. It was always Mom and Dad or Mom and the Old Man. They were cast a little bit differently, all right? So Melinda Dillon played Mom. She just made a movie that some of you may have seen called Close Encounters of a Third Kind. It was one of the original sci-fi movies. She got an Oscar nod for it. She didn't win, but they offered her the part off rip and she took it, all right? Darren McGavin was not their first choice for Dad. Imagine, if you will, you are a casting director in the early 80s for a family-friendly, holiday-centric comedy. Think about who you would pick as your father figure.
They're sweet, loving, and
Yes, it would have to be, right?
Right.
You need certain traits for this kind of film. You've all seen the movie. Well, their first choice was Jack Nicholson. He had also just made a movie based on a book written by a genre author named Stephen King. Any of y'all remember that one?
The Shining.
He did such a good job playing a dad in The Shining, they thought that would transfer over to the Christmas Story. But he was famous at the time. He was getting rich. He wanted too much money. They just couldn't afford it. Darren McGavin was a big name at the time too. He had made a ton of stuff before this. He was a little cheaper though. Also, he came with a period appropriate wardrobe. So they were on such a tight budget that just having somebody that would show up in suits and ties and PJs with a robe and slippers and stuff that fit the scene that they were looking for. They were backdating the movie 40 years ago. Keep that in mind, all right?
Yeah.
Just having that guy show up with everything that sold them, so they hired him and they made the movie, and now you guys are all here.
All right, we're in the kitchen. And hear the old man in the background messing with the furnace and cussing. There's underneath where Ralphie hid, where he thought he was going to die. The old man was going to kill him for getting in a fight. There's where Randy had his mashed potatoes, eating like a piggy. Look at that, there's a turkey that the dogs come and got. Listen, you can hear the old man down in the basement working with the furnace.
Oh, for Christ's sake, open up the damper, will you? Who the hell turned it all the way down? Again! Oh, blast it!
It's pretty cool, folks. They make it as realistic as they can. It's pretty cool. You can hear the old man downstairs cussing the furnace out the vent over there. You can.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there you have it, folks. It's the kitchen. We're going to go upstairs and we're going to see the bathroom. We're going to see Ralphie's room. So follow me on this adventure.
yeah.
Well, there's the stairwell where the Pink Nightmare came down.
We'll be walking around. We'll go across.
So we're going to go upstairs here. I want you to be able to experience everything. So we'll go into the bathroom first. And looky here. Oh my goodness, they got it set up just like the bathroom. There's the Lifebuoy soap that Ralphie had in his mouth for cussing. The old man's razor. And looky here. There's Ralphie's little Annie decoder pen. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. He was so disappointed to find out he waited that long to get a message about Ovaltine. And I got the sewing room here set up. They've added a lot of nice stuff from that time period to really make this look like the Christmas Story house, which it is the house, but most of the filming was done inside a soundproof studio. So this is Ralphie's room. This would have been Randy's bed here, and Ralphie's over here. Because there's this Red Ryder BB gun. This wallpaper is exact replica from the movie. They matched it pretty good to the wallpaper in the movie. Got your classic comic books and stories. There's Ralphie's glasses, and there's his homework for the teacher, and she gave him a C+ and told him he'd shoot his eye out. And there's his glasses. You get a view out the window like from the movie there. Pretty cool, folks. Pretty cool. Alright, soon we're going to head outside to the backyard where Ralphie shot his eye out. But before we do that, they say if you pick up his phone, you can hear Ralphie's mom having a conversation with Ralphie's friend that Ralphie blamed on the cuss word, and him getting spanked in the background. So here we go.
Mrs. Schwartz, do you know what Ralph just said? No, not that. Yes, that. Do you know where he heard it? He heard it from your son.
That's great. You can hear the kids screaming and everything on the phone. Yeah, so if you pick up the phone, you can hear Ralphie's mom and the kid in the background. So that's really neat. They've done a lot to make this realistic, I tell you. So follow me as we go downstairs, and then we'll go out to the back and see the backyard. So follow me on this adventure.
We'll go to the rally for the next half hour.
So we're standing in the backyard of the Christmas Story house, and this is the exact same backyard that they used for the filming of the movie. If you can see, the still plants are still there that were in the background during the movie. There's a replica of the sign that Ralphie shot at to take his eye out right here. And right there's the fence that Black Bart and his riders came up on horseback behind the fence, and we're climbing over this fence rail here. And there's the shed, replica of the shed. I'll show you that. Let you look inside the shed. This is the original shed. It's in pretty good shape since it was filmed in the 80s. Remember him climbing up over the roof and everything, and Ralphie taking out Black Bart and his men with the Red Ryder. But the window that they used for that is no longer here, that Ralphie was shooting out of for that scene of the Black Bart and his gang. And that window was actually right here in the kitchen, right there on the wall, which is no longer there. But at the time, there was a window there when they filmed the movie. And then Ralphie would have been about right where I'm at here in junction with the house when he aimed for that sign over there and shot his eye out. His glasses fell here in the snow, and he went to look for it after he stood up and stepped on his glasses and broke it. So he put on a big front and worked up some tears. His mom come running out the back door, and Ralphie said an icicle had fell from the top of the roof and hit him in the face and broke his glasses. And his mom believed it. So there you have it, folks. I hope you're enjoying this. I am. It's one off my bucket list. I always wanted to come and see this. I'm glad I did. So from here, I'll wait for my tour guide and the other group, which are still in the house, and we will go in the museum and the gift shop and check it out. So follow me on this adventure. So we're in the museum now, and I'll show you some stuff from the movie.
As a woman who must admit to her abortion, we're prepared to cry.
Scott Farkas is the bully.
2 years later,
Grover Dill's hat and his coat.
as the loving and protective mother in A Christmas Story.
And Scott Farkas's coat, skin coon hat. That's Grover's Hill hat and jacket there. That's his hat, and that's his jacket. And then the coon skin hat was Scott Farkason's. And there's a picture of him there.
And then she could feud with her husband, but do it in a way that we all loved her anyway.
Here they got a Darren McGowan life mask, the old man. That's pretty cool. And there's the old man's jacket, the original jacket from the movie. And there's a picture of Darren McGowan, played the old man. Here they got some behind the scenes photographs of when they were making the movie.
Just one of those people that I would say she should be in every movie ever made, just because her persona is so nice and so wonderful.
In 1987, she landed another family comedy,
More
once
pictures.
again playing the matriarch in Harry and the Hendersons.
Harry and the Hendersons version is kind of daffy and cute and funny and goes back to her Second City roots.
Especially when working
Pretty cool. You can
opposite
look at the pictures and actually
Take Bigfoot into their home.
see the places
He's going through the
where the
fridge,
movie
and
was
John
filmed.
Lithgow's desperately trying to get him away from the
These are
fridge,
some
and
original
Bigfoot comes in.
toys that was in the
Bigfoot with air freshener.
window of the shopping mall, that
Instead of a
the store that Ralphie was looking in the window. These are the original ones. I remember this tank
continued to show
was
off
moving
her
across the scene
films like Too Long Flu,
in
Thanks
the
for Everything, Julie,
window of the store,
and her dramatic shots in
which was Higbee's department store.
her acting career is all over the map.
And then you got Ralphie's little brothers.
Serious, she's funny, she's
Well, that's Flick's aviator cap there, and Swartz's stocking cap, scarf, and jacket. So it ain't his little brothers, it's his buddies' coats.
To do a role, and she was just innocent grown Lucy.
And there's Peter Bellinge's
Mostly, she
shoes he wore in the movie. It's a toboggan and hat. There's the original mailbox from the movie.
crazy old
And some of Ralphie's clothes he wore.
Gavin was a Hollywood staple long before Ralphie's quest for the Red Ryder piggyback.
Barry Gavin, seasoned actor.
See, you see him in the toboggan, the shoes, and the coat right there. And then there, the shoes, the toboggan, and the coat.
on screen, and he certainly was familiar to American television.
Before he was the head of the Partners Land, Gavin was known for his adventures.
And then they've got some sketches and artwork. There we go. There's the famous bib of Ralphie's brother in the mashed potato scene from the movie. And his little brother's right here. His outfit. The snow outfit that he couldn't move in. Ian Petrella was the actor's name. Ralphie's little brother. Original movie poster. And there's some decoders. Little Orphan Annie's Secret Society, different years here. The grand prize, the old man's grand prize. Now this BB Red Ryder gun in here is the original, one of the original pieces from the movie. From 1983, the movie. That's one of the props they used. Melinda Dillon's house coat from the movie. Picture of her, and there's a picture up there of her in the house coat. And over here we got some of Black Bart's costumes from the movie. Coming up over the fence in the backyard picture. Pretty cool. We've got one more room. This is actually Flash Gordon and Ming Marcel's costumes that was used in the movie, but the scenes were deleted from the movie, so they were never used. But these are the actual costumes from that movie. There's a picture. But they cut the scenes that was never used. And this is the actual chalkboard that was in the school in Ontario. And the actress that played the teacher actually put the A+++ on there for the scene, for this chalkboard to be displayed here. There's a picture of the actress who played the teacher. It's from the Victoria School in St. Charles, Ontario, and that's where it was filmed. T.D. Moore, the actor who played Mrs. Shields, when she came to the Christmas Story house, it says here that she wrote the A++ on here for the museum. And the Chippewa's old fire truck, we'll see before we leave, is a replica. The town was set in Indiana, but the original truck used for that scene where Ralphie's friend got his tongue stuck to the flagpole is in Ontario, and it's still being used by the fire department, volunteer fire department up there, but the original truck's up there. But we'll see the replica here before we leave. And last but least, the Chop Suey Palace. These are two of the costumes worn in the movie by the Chinese waiters. If you remember the far where they had the duck and they cut the head off because it was staring at him, and Ralphie's mom didn't like it because the dog stole the turkey. So yeah, and here's the original door from the classroom brought down from Ontario from the school that they filmed it. It's no longer a school, I think it's apartments or something now they converted it into. But before I leave, I'll show you the fire truck and also the gift shop. So follow me on this adventure. So as I promised you, I'm going to show you the replica fire truck. This is a sister to the original, like I said, the original being in Ontario somewhere. And but actually the town was supposed to be Holman, Indiana. So that's why it says Holman on the side, even though it was filmed in Cleveland. But that is the truck, the original truck. It's pretty neat. They got fire equipment here too. And that's a 1939 Ford fire truck. And like I said, that's the truck that pulled up to the scene of Ralphie's friend getting his tongue stuck on the flagpole. And if you look real close, you can see that it says something different on that truck, because that's the original one they used. This is a replica sister truck. So now I'll take you into the gift shop and we'll have a look around. So follow me on this adventure. Show you the window here of the gift shop's pretty cool. Statue there of him getting his tongue stuck on the pole, and that was actually PPC pipe they used and painted it to look metal. And there's actually a hole that the kid stuck his tongue on, and down at the bottom out of scene they had a hole that they used a vacuum sweeper to give it a more realistic look of his tongue getting stuck and being pulled into the pole. So I wanted to share that with you, some stuff I found out. So we'll go ahead and go in the gift shop, take a look around.
That's gonna look weird for the first couple days.
Yeah, I agree. That's how it is. That's exactly how it is.
They got a little bit of everything. A lot more Christmas story stuff than I would think they had. They got bottle openers, postcards, got the pink bunny shoes for $24.99. They even sell the pink bunny outfits too, up to extra large, I believe. They got the Christmas story Christmas house display, and they are $93.99. Here they've got some of the cars from the Christmas tree and different little scenes from the movie here. Little scenes are like $24, $19, different prices. They got little people's play set of the characters, mom, dad, Ralphie and his brother. Replica 20-inch leg lamp. They also have a night light that you can get that plugs into the wall with the lamp. T-shirts. There shows you what it looks like, the department stores, or the furnaces, and some of the figurines that you can buy. Pretty cool. Black Bart on the horse. The old man getting his grand prize leg lamp. Ralphie and the Pink Nightmare. So a little bit of everything here. They even have a Christmas vacation house. It's a cookie jar and Cousin Ed's RV. You can buy the movie here, Christmas Story, plus The Untold, which tells about probably about the filming and stuff. It's $20. That ain't bad. Got some Funko Pops from Nightmare Before Christmas and some Nightmare Before Christmas things. And there's the Pink Nightmare himself. You can actually get a penny made for $1. And then they got some more Elf stuff, merchandise for sale from the movie Elf. They got the figure. I want to get this later on, the figure, and along with the Christmas Vacation. They got two figures here for $40. That's about right. That's about the price they are. Today I don't think I'm gonna buy anything. Cousin Ed's hat. Just because I used partially most of my money to travel here to film this for you.
Never knows it.
I would actually like to get the Ralphie and the old man figure. I'm still thinking about that. Maybe I will. Got cups. Old Fudge coffee cup. That's funny. And you can actually buy the Red Ryder replica BB gun here. It's $129.99. It's even got the compass in it in stock, just like the movie. And Daisy made that. Different little figures. Look at the stuffed Ralphie in the pink costume. There's the leg lamp you can get. It's a night light. It's $40. There's the old man figure I was talking about. It's $40. It's got the leg lamp in it. And there's the Pink Nightmare. And they go for $69.99. And they range from small to extra large. Along with slippers you can buy for $24.99, like I said. They have puzzles. Bobbleheads for $39.99. They got a card game for $8.99. A major card game like the Major Prize. Old man figure there. It's a Nutcracker. It's I don't know how much it is. No price on it. Let's see here. The Nutcracker is, was it $59.99? Not bad. It's reasonable. There's another card strategy game for $20 at the Christmas store. And over here they have the Ralphie figures, and they're the same price. It's around 40 bucks. I'm probably going to wait on them. You can get them on Amazon, and since I spent so much to get down here, I'm probably going to wait on that. And they have some art prints. It's pretty neat for $14.99, different scenes. But like I said, I'll probably just wait. But I wanted to show you what they have here to offer. Again, we're in Cleveland, Ohio. That's where the house is. It's on the corner of 11th Street off of 14th Street. Just, you can Google it, the directions, and it'll bring you here with no problem. Wasn't really bad drive here. I took the turnpike all the way from Gettysburg. Took me about 5 hours and 10 minutes. But I wanted to be able to film this for you. Again, this has been part 1 of 2. Part 1 will be this week. Part 2 I'm doing tomorrow. It's near the bay in Maryland. It's got to do with the Christmas story, I can tell you that, but I don't want to give it away yet. So that'll be part 2. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog of the Christmas story and the filming site. I really wanted to do this for you, and like I said, I wanted to do it for myself. It's been on my bucket list. So if you're watching this, please subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to leave comments, suggestions of other things you'd like to see in the future. Till then, go out and have your own adventures and enjoy life. Again, this has been Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures. Till next time, goodbye.